So in this video, we are looking at how can we calculate MAE, mean absolute error, MSE, mean square error, and MAPE, mean absolute percentage error. So we are calculating these three metrics that will be used measuring the forecasting accuracy. Okay, so in order to do to do any of these three statistics calculation, the first step we need to do is to getting the errors figured out. Okay, so the error or residual. So our error is equal to our actual value minus the forecasting value. Okay, so the column C value here, I'm using the naive forecasting result as the example. Okay, so if you don't know how to get in the naive forecasting result, make sure you watch the previous video. Okay, so first of all, to get in the error, I just need to using the actual value minus the forecasting value. As you notice that I didn't type 21 minus 17. I actually just using the selecting the cell. So this is the relative value because by selecting the cell, later I can use the Excel's drag down function. So it will automatically calculating each row. Okay. So after I do that, I'm able to get an error for the week 2. So that is equal to 4. So then I select the cell, I just calculate the value, move the mouse to the right down corner until it turns into the black cross. Left click the mouse and hold it and drag it down. Okay, so in the column D we are seeing here, okay, column D here, I'm listing everything here is the error of my forecast for each period. Okay, as you can see for the first period we are blank. The reason is for the week 1 we don't have naive forecasting because we don't have week 0's value we can use, so therefore we leave it blank. Okay, so after we got the error, now we can first calculate our MAPE. In order to get a mean absolute error, we need to first get in our absolute error, okay? So we need to first get an absolute error. As you notice that the name, so the absolute error, basically we just need to take absolute value of the error we already got in column D. So let's do it together. So the function we are using is called ABS, stands for absolute. And then parentheses, select the error you already calculated, and then close the parentheses. And we will use the drag down function to fill in the rest of the cell for the rest of the period. So I will push enter. So it will give me 4. And I move my mouse to the right down corner and the left click the mouse, hold it, and then drag it down to the last one. Okay, as you can see, it used to be negative error. After you take absolute value, it becomes positive. Okay, so this is what we need. So now after we got our absolute error for each period, what we need to do, we need to calculate the mean absolute error. So basically we are trying to calculate the average of my absolute errors here. Okay, so let me do, we are using the function called average. So we type in equal average and then parentheses, and then we select the value we have and then close the parentheses. Okay, now I can push enter. So my MAE equal to 3.61. So I can keep the 2 decimal places so that easy for me to read. In order to do that, I just need to select the cell and then go into the top. There is a tab called home and there is a section called the number. And then this one is called decrease decimal places. I can just click, 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 click until I get the right amount of decimal places I'm looking for. Okay. So this is a MAE, mean absolute error. How about mean MSE? So to do the MSE, that stands for mean square error. So instead of getting the absolute value, we actually square the arrow term. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna get in the squared arrow. So we need to calculate square arrow for each period first. So to do that, we type in equal, and then we select the arrow term. We already calculated. Use the keyboard, find the carets, and then push, and then type 2. So after you do that, push enter. So that's give us the square arrow for the week 2. And then I selected the square arrow one more time for period 2. And then move the mouse to the right down corner. And the left click the mouse, hold it, and then drag it down. Okay. So for this one, it gives us the square arrow, right? Square arrow. And then, so in order to get a mean square arrow, MSE, what we need to do is we just need to use the function average, and then select all the square arrows we calculate for all the period we have here, and then close the parentheses, and then push enter. Okay, so that gives us the value for mean square arrow. And then again, I will keep it to 2 decimal places, and I will reduce the decimal places to 2. So this is the mean square arrow.